All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, all honor, all glory to the Heavenly Father and His Son, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders at Great Millstone. Salutations to the elect members, all right, who are scattered to the four winds of the earth, preaching the gospel of our Lord Yahweh Shai, all right, and also the multitude of believers, all right, who are also scattered to the four winds of the earth, all right, who are calling upon that name, Yahweh Shai, in these last and evil days, all right, which we know the bulk of Israelites are here in the Americas, all right, but also, Israel is scattered to the four winds of the earth, the whole nation, all right, and through this gospel, we are being brought back through the name, all right, we are being sealed, if we're predestined for salvation, okay, as the scriptures say, there is no other name whereby men shall call upon for salvation, roughly paraphrasing. All right, so we call upon the name of Yahweh Shai, our Lord. All right, Yah meaning he, Yahweh Shai meaning to deliver or save. All right, because that's what he coming to do. All right, so I want to call this lesson Revelations 20:7-8 is now. All right, in fact, we are in the final phases of the deception of Satan. All right, after he's been loose from his prison, and in the prison that he's pretty much, that he was in, was him, pretty much being in servitude to Jake during what they would call the medieval time period. All right, and here for an example, you had the Byzantine Empire, okay, which is pretty much the Roman Empire, all right, or the Holy Roman Empire, all right, which was pretty much established by Constantine I, who made Constantinople the new capital of Rome, all right. The Western Roman Empire phased out, that was pretty much Esau, and in the Eastern Roman Empire, pretty much came into power and lasted almost about 1,000 years, all right, you know. And so here, Byzantine Empire, just tidbit information, a comprehensive overview of the Byzantine Empire, its history, geography, culture, and legacy. The timeline covers the period from the rise to fall from the 4th to the 15th century, all right, AD, okay. And around, let me see, around 330 AD, Constantine I had established Constantinople, the capital of the Roman Empire, all right. And also during his time, the Roman Empire was divided, and then Esau pretty much phased out, you know, and Esau's reign is pretty much the pagan Roman Empire, and then you got Jake who came in after, all right. So just to establish that the 1,000 year period where Esau is not relevant, he's not even, he has absolutely no sovereignty during his time, all right. But he comes in later, all right, which we know as the Renaissance period, and this is, pretty much when he comes, and this is where the deception uh, starts to become more prevalent during the Renaissance period, all right. And it says here about the 15th and 16th centuries, all right. So let's go back. Revelations 20:7, it says that when the 1,000 years are expired, all right, Satan shall be loose out of his prison, all right. And he was loose out of his prison, and this is the start of it, all right. Job 9:24, really quick. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, wherein who is he? Right. Okay. And it's quite evident, that it's Esau, because his face, the white face, is up everywhere in the world. He depicted himself as, the highest judge, which is Yahweh Shai, who the world calls Jesus Christ. He depicted that. He depicted that he was the prophets, Moses, Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, even till this day. All right. So deception has been reigning prevalent, uh, you know, within the last 400, 500 years, it's been, Esau has been going throughout the world deceiving. All right. Verse 8, it says, and shall go out, Revelations 20:8, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth. Now, how did he do that? Renaissance. All right. And we'll read a little bit about it. I got a video on it. I'd rather show the video, but, well, no, I'd rather read it than show the video, but I'm going to show the video. All right. It says, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, right, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. Now, this part is happening. All right. The war, which Gog and Magog represents Russia. All right. And now we see, according to what's going on, the events that's taking place in the world, we're seeing Russia, start to become that big brother of the nations. All right. Who they're starting their own new world order, I guess you could say, with, starting with the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, all right, South Africa, all right, China, okay, and they're starting their own thing, okay, and they're coming up against the West, all right, Western civilization, which have been reigning and ruling the world through tyranny, all right. And it's not like, the BRICS are coming as the saviors. No, it's the Lord, pretty much, as the scriptures say, ruleth in the kingdom of men and setteth up whomsoever he shall. And he's bringing the Western civilization down by the BRICS nations. All right, starting with Russia being the head of those nations. All right, so this is happening because what? His deception, Esau's deception, is coming to an end. He's at the last phase, and the Lord is setting up, these counterparts, all right, enemies against them. He's making them small among the heathen, as the scriptures say, and greatly despised. Here it says here, Obadiah 1, all right, and 2, it says, behold, I have made, no, well, I started 1, the vision of Obadiah, thus said the Lord Yahweh power, concerning Edom, we have heard a rumor from the Lord Yahweh. An ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. All right. And so that's what's happening, according to Revelations 20:8. All right. To gather them together to battle. All right. So it pretty much lines up. Okay. And it says here, it says, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. And this is dealing with the chief house of Esau, which is Amalek. And they're continuing to deceive people in the world. All right. Also a part of their last, how can I say, the last phase of their deception. All right. They're in the last phases of their deception. All right. And it really waxed strong during the 1948, the Christian Zionism, which we're going to get into that as well. So Salakia, all right. So again, we dealt with 1,000 years. That period where that expired, the Byzantine Empire, pretty much where Christianity ruled, and then you had Islam come in, and they warred, during the Middle Ages. I know I said medieval, but it's all pretty much the same, and eventually Esau came in. All right. I think through the Ottoman Turks, all right, and they were mercenaries, okay, and they, tacked on to these different religions, and they, again, the Lord set them up. He set the basis of men up, all right. So we dealt with that. Now we're dealing with, pretty much the start of their deception, all right, because this is not going to happen in the future, where they're going to make weapons and fight against us in the kingdom. All right, that's going to be completely impossible. We're going to be a superhuman race of people, righteous people. All right, and no one is going to be able to raise up, sword or even make weapons of war, engines of war, because that's done away with. It's going to be done away with by, the end of hell, at the beginning of Yahushai's reign. All right, because he's going to put down all powers. All right. Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, right, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth. And it started here. So I want to play this brief video really quick.
history mainly taken place in the Renaissance. We're talking about the period of European history mainly taken place in Italy from the 14th to the 16th century, bridging the gap between the Middle Ages and modern day civilization.
Now, and that's around the time where Jake was pretty much being brought down. You had the bubonic plague, you had other things that took place that pretty much was the end of Jake ruling in Europe. All right, okay, and there's proof. There's proof that Jake was ruling during that time. All right, and a lot of that information, again, due to the Renaissance, is being pretty much done away with. Okay, because as the scriptures say, to the victors, goes the spoils, and then also to the victors, they get to rewrite history. All right, the way they see fit, and this is what Esau was doing during this time. All right, he was writing history the way they see fit.
The word Renaissance means rebirth. In this case, the rebirth of the classical Greek and Roman arts and
right, and that's important. Why is it the revamp or the rebirth of the Greek and Roman arts? Because the Greek Empire, all right, Esau is the head of the Greek Empire. That's when they started to rule, all right, in the ancient world. Okay, they came up through the Greek Empire. They took down Alexander the Great, took down Darius. All right, I believe Darius the Third. Okay, and that's in Daniel the 8th chapter. He what that goat moved with Choler. All right, and took out that ram with two horns, which was the Greco. I mean, not the two horns. The ram with two horns is the Medo-Persian Empire. All right. Okay, so it's important to know that history as well.
Philosophy, following the Middle Ages, an era often branded as a time of war, cultural decline, and pandemics such as the Black Death. Humanism was really
right, and that's how Esau got up in there.
A philosophy inspired by
that's how Esau got up in there. All right, that's how but that's the Lord's doing. You see,
a philosophy inspired by classical Greek and Roman texts celebrating human creativity.
Right, and that's important. That's important. Okay, because it's hard to understand that when Esau is taken out, if you don't understand that, the history of the nations. All right, and which nationalities rule which kingdoms, and we know Esau ruled Rome. All right, we know Esau ruled Greece. All right, or the Greek Empire. Why? Because they flaunt it, and that is their celebrated history. And then let them tell it. That's the only history. And they teach that in the school system, in the fool system. All right.
Individual achievement in different fields, and promoting the idea that man was the center of his own universe, not God.
See, and another thing. See, now we got the strange philosophy coming in. All right, we got the forward philosophy coming in, and who was more forward and who was more profane than Esau, as the scriptures say. All right, who hate God, and so they brought this philosophy in, and this is part of them deceiving the whole world, because this ain't nothing just minute. This shaped the religious world. This shaped the religious world at the highest levels. All right, and that trickled down to everything in society, and the norm and the status quo of everything in society. So
this new mindset contrasted with medieval philosophy, which centered on the divine and on following the rules set forth by the Catholic Church as God's plan.
Right, and guess what? That's 2 Thessalonians. So really, all of it's starting to line up. All right, this is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, and I'll kind of get to the point. All right. Slakia, that's chapter 1. This is chapter 2, man and lawlessness. All right, so 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. All right, I'll start at 1. It says, "Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, and by our gathering together unto him." All right, okay, because that was a gathering back in the ancient world during the time of Yahweh Shai. And then he had his disciples who later became apostles, who pretty much were gathering the elect together. All right. And they believed on Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai died, so on and so forth. All right. All right. So verse 2, it says that ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter as from us, as that the day of Hamashiach is at hand. Let no man deceive you by any means. Why does it have to say that, right? For that day shall not come except there come a falling away first. And this is dealing with Israel. All right. The modern day church, Christianity, they say it's happening. The falling away is happening now. All right. Which they're completely, outrageously misinformed and wrong. All right. And that's the doing of the Lord. The deceived and the deceiver are his. All right. And it says, in that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. All right. And now what? The falling away had to come. That happened, pretty much 70 AD and onward, and everything that proceeded after or came after 70 AD, the Roman Jewish wars, Israelites being displaced out of the land, having to be dispersed. They just diaspora into Africa, Europe, Asia, all over the world. All right. Thus the prophecy, we was going to be scattered to the four winds of the earth. And that's where the Lord is going to save us. The Lord is going to save us. Key point. The Lord is going to save us and put us back in that land. Not we ourselves. All right. Not by some divine power of a secular rulership or private entity coming in and writing a piece of paper like a Balfour Declaration. All right. Which this is the validity. This is what, the JOOs, this is their, their validity as far as them being the people in that land. All right. So back is 2 Thessalonians. And it reads, it says, let no man deceive you. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. All right. Now, more so now than ever, the so-called white man has been revealed. And it's pretty much, it came in during our awakening. All right. When we woke up, all right, to this truth. All right. A lot of people like to talk bad about Abba Bivens. They like to talk bad about One West, but the truth came, the truth was at One West. All right. And it continues on. Its legacy continues. All right. Through the apostles and elders here at Great Millstone. All right. And those that affiliate with this truth. All right. Who speak the whole doctrine, wholesome doctrine. All right. Verse 4, it says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worship. All right. And right here, I'll just play it again.
The rules set forth by the Catholic Church as God's plan.
See, so this is the rule that the Catholic Church has set up. All right. Fulfilling what it says here. All right. It says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God. All right. And we just heard that, Greek and Roman philosophy became the forefront of the Renaissance. All right. Okay. You got another thing called iconoclasm. All right. Whitewashing. All right. They poured acid upon those, the arts. All right. The old ancient arts, which depicted the real, Israelites as being of a darker hue. All right. So it says, or that is worship, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And that's what they've been doing, the Roman Catholic Church. All right. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. And now you know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. So now he's being revealed in his time. And what we know what had to happen, basically, essentially, the falling away had to come. All right. And then the son of the man of sin had to be revealed, which is Esau, Edom. All right. Which shows you everything that they brought in the Renaissance was contrary to the truth. All right. About the Heavenly Father. All right. So it says, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work. That was the Romans. All right. Only he who now letteth will let. All right. Until he be taken out of the way. Okay. All right. And the Lord is going to be, he's the one that's doing the taking out of the way. Not we ourselves. We're not going to raise up with arms and try to take this man down. No, the Lord, the Spirit of the Lord is going to consume, which is going to say actually, it says, and then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Right. And so, right. So in the spirit of his mouth, of course, it starts with his word. All right. And, you know, his prophets bringing that word. All right. Which are judgments. All right. And the prophecies. All right. And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. All right. And so when the Lord comes, as the scriptures say, he shall not meet thee as a man. He's coming in an angelic type of force with all power and authority. All right. Even him who's coming out is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And as the deceivableness of unrighteousness, that's dealing with Esau. All right. And especially in these times, and they're continuing that campaign. And in fact, we're at the last phase of that, you know, because they're bringing in the MOTB. All right. And they plan on completely abolishing the Heavenly Father out of the sight of this world. All right. So going back, I'll play a little bit more on this.
The Renaissance started in Florence, Italy, which became very wealthy thanks to trade with the Ottoman Empire, the biggest economic power in the region.
Mm-hmm.
Theories accounting for the origins of the Renaissance include the reintroduction of classical texts to Italy through the immigration of scholars following the fall of Constantinople, and
Right.
through
Which was what? The Byzantine Empire. All right.
crusaders who had encountered advanced Muslim civilizations that had kept copies and translations. Also, members of the powerful and wealthy Medici family of Florence
Medici,
were famous
yep.
backers of the movement and supported public art for
Yep. And this is how Esau got his support. All right. Wealth.
recognition, for the love of beauty, and also to legitimize their wealth. The movement later expanded to other Italian city-states such as Venice, Milan, Rome, and then throughout Western and Northern Europe by
See? So it expanded. This is there's deception. All right.
scholars such as Dutch philosopher Erasmus. Thanks to the
So, and really the Renaissance had everything to do with deception. All right. There's rebirth. All right. So, I mean, you got that part. All right. So, see, look at that. It says Renaissance, it says, is a period in history and a cultural movement. All right. Is a change in the way a number of different disciplines approach their work. This embodies all art forms, the sciences, and philosophies. Historically, different nations or regions of the world have gone through their own independent sequence of movements and culture. It says, making the transition from the Middle Ages to modernity, covering the 15th and 16th centuries, and characterized by an effort to revive and surpass the ideas and achievements of classical antiquity. All right, so they pretty much destroyed classical antiquity. All right, and we can read Job 9:24 again. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, wherein who is he? So if it wasn't the so-called white man, who in the hell else did it? No one else. All right, okay, because that's his plight to the world, was deception. And the Renaissance was that beginning. All right. So that's definitely dealing with, you know, what took place, this scripture. All right. Satan shall be loosed out of his prison and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth. All right. And they did that through Christian Renaissance. All right. Or Renaissance Christianity. Okay. And furthermore, to come more, you know, recent times, the biggest part of their biggest deception is that what Christian Zionism. All right, it says it's a belief among some Christians that the return of the Jews to the Holy Land and the establishment of the state of Israel in 1948 were in accordance with Bible prophecy, and that's not true. Okay, the term began to be used in the mid 20th century, superseding Christian restorationism, Christian perspectives on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. That's right. All right. And so they pretty much deceive the world into saying that Bible prophecy was fulfilled by these Amalekite who are Edom, who is Edom, all right, who at the time were living in Germany, so they're also known as Teman, all right. Hey, Shalom, baby. All right, so Salakia, give me a second. All right, so Salakia, just had to take care of something really quick. So the last phase of Esau's or Satan, all right, deceiving the world, because as the scriptures say, what it refers to him as the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan. All right, that's dealing with Esau. Okay, that's dealing with Esau. All right, so and the last phase is what their efforts through Christian Zionism. All right, lying to the whole world, deceiving the whole world that they are, you know, the children of God, and they're not. So everything that they're doing, all right, is not in accordance to the scriptures, all right, the prophecy, okay, because the scriptures say that the Lord was going to deliver us, all right, and so now we're at a time where deception is at an all-time high, all right, and as it says here, I'm a second Ezra's, let me see, this is 14, all right, and 16, it says, for yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. And the evils are being perpetuated. It's coming out that the evils in the world is being perpetuated by what? You Edomites, all right, with your false identity, all right, and you know, that covering that you cast over the world that's coming down, all right. The Lord is lifting the skirts, all right, and the scriptures say that as well. So let me get my stuff in order, Slakia. All right, let me finish this up, all right. It says, for the time is fled far away, and leasing is hard at hand, all right. And so when you go into the word leasing, all right, this is dealing with, I believe, deception, but let's look it up. All right, leasing. Let's take a lease. No, let's see. Black, loosen, open, make wide. Let's see here. Here, I would have to go in the scriptures and find it. All right. Oh, let's see what Google gives me. So bear with me for a second. All right. Leasing, meaning. All right, so this is the closest I could find. All right. Psalms 5 and 6. It says, thou shalt destroy them that speak leasing. The Lord Yahweh will abhor the bloody and deceitful man. And that's Esau, Edom. He's the bloody and deceitful man. Okay, even now, their works in the earth prove that they're the bloody and deceitful. Okay. All right, with especially one of the proxy wars that's being set up right now, Israel versus the Palestinians. Okay, and it just shows you, it just shows you more of their, Edomite dominance and colonialism through lying. All right, so the word here for leasing is kazab, and it says leasing, deceit, deceitful, false, liar, lies. Right? Lying. It says a lie, untruth, falsehood, deceptive thing. And this is what Esau has been pushing and propagating throughout the world. And now everybody believes it. Everybody believes this man. All right. They're playing, they're crying, they're crying wolf, so to speak. They're crying wolf. All right. Here you go. The JOOs, concerning the JOOs, right? It says anti-Jewish, all right, hate crimes surged 214%. This was 2 weeks ago, NYPD says. And now that number keeps going up. You know, anti-Shem, all right, incidents in U.S. up over 300% since start of Gaza war, you know. So, and the numbers are steadily increasing. Okay, why? All right. Because it's propaganda. Most of it's propaganda, okay? And eventually, you know, the world is going to find out who you are. All right, I was watching this video, okay? And, you know, you got all these politicians, they'll silence you if you say anything about the JOOs. Well, it's coming out that you are not the people, and the Lord is exposing you. And everybody's starting to figure out who you are, right? So I want to play a little bit of this video, you know.
I want to talk about the Talmud. That is related to what we see going on in America today and in the Middle East. And since I never came across that in school and didn't see it in the library, and the media never talks about it because it's controlled by the people who follow it, I think it's interesting to know exactly what's in there. I think a lot of us need to know what's in there because it does affect people's attitude toward us. It's actually dangerous to talk about. Sanhedrin 59a, a goy. Now, what is a goy? A goy is a sheep or a cattle that is controlled. That's what a goy is. A goy, Gentile, that's me, who pries into the law, Talmud, is guilty of death. So what that means, and I have experienced unprecedented hatred and threats of my...
And that's funny. That's what their book of worship, that's what it, you know, that's what it entails. If anybody outside look into the book, all right, they're supposed to be killed, you know. And these are the people that's supposed to be a shining beacon of life or light to the world. They're supposed to be the light of the world, all right? You know, so it's hypocrisy at the highest levels, and that's all you see with these JOOs, and they're being exposed, all right? So no matter, all the deception is pretty much coming to an end. According to prophecy, all right?
Violence since I came up here and started talking. And you can tell from her attitude that what I'm saying is absolutely true because she doesn't even look at me as a human being. I am simply an anti-Semitic in her eyes. That's pretty amazing.
Right, and that word anti-Shemitic, all right, is nothing more than Esau crying wolf, all right? Especially, you know, when they're cornered, all right, and the truth comes out. You see, but what's happening is what? All right. It says, thou shalt destroy them, Psalms 5 and 6. Thou shalt destroy them that speak leasing, right? Deceitful, lies. The Lord Yahweh will abhor them. All right. He detests them. All right. They're an abomination in his eyes, the bloody and deceitful man. You see? It's the Lord doing that. Okay. What else? Uncover thy skirts. So the Lord, let me see. Lamentations 4 and 22. That's what I can think right now. All right. Lamentations 4 and 21. It says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. All right. What the cup of the Lord's indignation. All right. And that's going to be slavery. All right. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. You see, exposed. Okay. All right. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. And that's what's basically happening all over the world. The Lord is opening, you know, Esau up for scrutiny at the highest levels. All right. Here. One good one is Habakkuk chapter 2, verses, let me see. I just want to hit the point. Habakkuk 2 and 11, it says, for the stone shall cry out of the wall. Let's see, Habakkuk 2 and 9. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house. All right. And basically, when you go into covetousness, that's dealing with those who have no. Here it says this says it better, because it's a certain term that I was trying to think of that I looked up last week. It says gain, profit, lucre. It says profit, unjust gain, profit acquired by violence, and that's what Esau done. You know, when you go into the British Mandate, they wrote down on a piece of paper and went into the land of Israel and just took it over by force, the same way they did America. Okay, so no matter where you go, you're being pegged with your the evil things that you've done. All right, so woe to him that coveted an evil covetousness to his house. All right, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. And that's Esau as a whole. All right, they did it here in the Americas. They did it in the land of Israel. All right, they continue to do it. All right, it says, for the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establish a city by iniquity. All right, you've done that. The so-called white man has done that. All right, behold, it is of the Lord of hosts that the people shall labor in the very fire, and the people shall weary themselves for very vanity. All right, for the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the Lord, of the glory of the Lord Yahweh, as the waters cover the sea. All right, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth thy bottle to him, and maketh him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. And that's what Esau has done. All right, and for an example, he's done it through the entertainment world concerning Jake. He create influencers that would spread immoral standard, so that we can be corrupted, our spirits can be corrupted, and so that they can look at us and laugh and mock, and in hopes that the Lord will forget us. But he got another thing coming. All right, and so your lives are pretty much coming to an end. So all this, you the people, but you're being exposed. You're being exposed. I'll play a little bit more of this.
I actually called her, and she would not talk, but she'll sit here and disrespect you. I'm going to talk about any council member.
Council.
No, every council member is subject to criticism, including you. If you don't like that, resign and let somebody else take your place. This is what public discourse is about. That's what it's about. You have to sit there and take it. If you don't like it, I'll take your place, and anyone who criticizes me, I'm coming back. You can't do it because you don't have the truth on your side. So that's Sanhedrin 59A. Libre Davids 37. To communicate anything to a Goy about our religious relations would be equal to the killing of all Jews. For if the Goyim knew what we teach about them, they would kill us open.
Yeah, and so they're supposed to be the light of the world, and they got their sayings in the Talmud say if you even reveal some of these things, it'd be like killing them. It'll be like exposing them. All right. So we know that ain't on par with what the scriptures say concerning the children of Israel and how they're going to influence the world. All right. And it's just more stuff is coming out. Anytime you mention anything about the JOOs, what they're crying wolf. They're saying anti-Semitism. All right. Even with the Holocaust, you had an individual who was proving that the Holocaust, most of the things that we're saying was pretty much forged and fabricated. Because what? This deceitfulness is at an all-time high. Leasing is at an all-time high. Okay. And that goes back to that Revelations 20:7 to 8. All right. They're going out through the four corners of the earth to deceive, and they continue to deceive. All right. They own all media. All right. And you can look that up. So let's see here. They own everything. Okay. They're in everywhere. They're out and they're deceiving the whole world, right? With their influence. Okay. All the people that's in red, these are the the JOOs, all right, who controls your mind, right? Yeah, let's see. They took me to that. But, you know, they control everything from CBS News, all right, to all of these different things. All right, so Salakia. Yeah, so I gotta keep getting up. But yeah, man, you know, they own everything. They've been deceiving the world. You know, they own Disney, child grooming. They've been doing that for years, man. All right, for decades. And it's all coming out now. It's all coming out. That these JOOs have been deceiving the world, and they continue to deceive the world. And it matches up with what they say in Revelations. You know, it's like I got to cut the lesson short, man, because got the kiddos, and they're just waking up. So, and I got to keep pausing the lesson, so I know I'm not going to be able to finish it. All right, so, but yeah, I mean, those who know, all right. The cat's out of the bag. The Lord is exposing them. The last phase of their deception is coming to a close. But their final move is what? Revelations 13. All right. Their final move is Revelations 13:15. All right. And there's information that comes out about this because you got Israelites who breaking this down wrong. Revelations 13:15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, which the image of the beast, what we spoke about, was the Roman Empire. All right. That's the image. All right. And the image is dealing with its politics and how its standard, how the society is ran. All right. That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Now, it's not just talking literal. All right. And you can be killed by what? Being cut off from society. All right. And that word there for killed here.
Strong's G 615. Apartino.
Right. To kill in any way, whatever. All right. To destroy, to allow, to perish. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to cut individuals who don't believe in this the way of life. All right. They're going to cut them off from society. Metaphor, to extinguish, abolish, to inflict mortal death. All right. Because it's going to be happening both ways. All right. They're going to cut them off, cut people off. All right. And allow them to perish because they're going to gridlock the system. All right. With the MOTB, which is the RFID, which is in the RFID chip, RFID tag that you're going to have. All right. To even buy and sell. And that's what it's going into. So this is their last phase of deception. All right. With this branding, which is the MOTB, or RFID chip, all right, being placed in your hands, all right, don't matter which hand, all right. It says that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many that as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And what's an example? During 2020, all the way up until now, they mandated that you would have to get inoculated, the jab, all right, to participate, to go to work, to participate in events, all right. So that's just one phase, all right, of that, and it's going to go up a few notches. It's going to go to another phase where, you're not going to be able to buy food, all right, which is going to go into, it says, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand. And so you got Israelites who are saying that the mark is not the RFID chip. You got even vocab saying it, when vocab's completely off, all right, or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number